That was Robert Gates talking about Joe Biden. And while former Secretary Gates didn't want to be too harsh in his criticisms in public about President Obama, he was certainly willing on Fox and Friends this morning to offer a bill of particulars against Joseph Biden, Vice President of these United States. And this is power play. So Joe Biden probably not going to be the nominee for the Democrats. But anyway, how about Brad Blakeman? He probably won't be the nominee for the Democrats either, but he is a former senior advisor to President George W. Bush. He is a longtime Republican operative and doer of things and has now taken a lofty perch in academia at the Georgetown University. Hoya Saxa, welcome back, Brad. And meet Joe Lestingi? Lestingi.
Yes, sir.
You are Lestingi.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
My Italian family roots right there.
I dig it. Okay. Joe Lestingi is a senior political strategist. Do you have any junior political strategists at the Chatterton Group?
We just have regular political
We just have regular. So senior, they're senior. Okay, I got it. I got it. And Joe is a Democrat, and he loves America. Okay, guys, here's the thing. Joe, since you are a Democrat, you do love America. Hillary Clinton is like I've compared her to the Graf Zeppelin Hindenburg, this giant floating target. Coming in, and it's like they call themselves progressive. I call them populist kind of Democrats. Are increasingly anxious. There's nobody that can seemingly. Elizabeth Warren didn't even last 2 weeks of speculation. Jerry Brown made it clear yesterday, I'm not doing it. Schweitzer from Montana is really the only one who's making any noise about it.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, she is the sort of the big force in the room that people are really waiting on. If you recall, when she ran in 8, prior to her announcement, there were a lot of names that popped up, and when she did announce, a lot of names came out, and they decided they weren't going to run. I am one of the rare Democrats that you might find that I actually don't believe she's going to run. I know that's hard to believe. I don't think she's going to. I think she's got some major political players out there that she works with, but I actually do not think she's going to run.
If she does not run, your party's going to need a change of pants because there is. I mean, seriously. I mean, who you got?
Well, that's funny that you mentioned that. We were just talking about this before we came on, but I think the field is wide open for both parties right now. And if you look at the 2008 election, we had people come out of areas that we didn't expect. And I think we're looking at a governor. I think I have my eye on a particular candidate in the South that I think is going to be a newsmaker if she's successful in her election this cycle.
Governor in the South. Are we talking a Democrat? In the South.
There are a lot of
Can you do
lower
the math?
level
Who
ones.
is that?
I don't know who you're speaking of.
A woman Democrat in the South ought to be easy to identify.
Who is it? No.
A Democrat woman? Come on, just say.
I think if you look at the state of Texas, you've got a great candidate running for governor right now.
Running for governor.
I don't think this has never come up on the news, but I would love to see her run. I think she's got a great history.
Wendy
I think
Davis?
if she can win the election this cycle, she's only got 2 years as governor before she has to run, so it's probably not likely, but I would love.
About Texas that ain't true.
Liz always gives me good information.
She tells you stuff about Texas that ain't true. All right, Brad. For the Republican Party, there is a schadenfreude for some conservatives as they look at Chris Christie finally facing the chin music from the press that loves him so. But he seems to be progressing, moving forward. For the Republican Party, the assumption has been terrifying and comforting that Hillary Clinton was the inevitable choice of Democrats, right? That's been like...
Well, we've heard this tune in 2008.
Yeah.
We've heard the inevitability. We've heard the very same Democrats in 2008, now in 2014, say, hey, it's inevitable. It's going to be her. Well, if you look back in 2007 and 8, Barack Obama, not known by many people, came out of nowhere, and it was a battle right to the end, but Hillary lost.
Yeah.
And
Puerto Rico primary.
Oh, my God. It was bloody. Now, I hope Stingy is being generous with his remarks. And I would love to see the fact that Hillary doesn't run. I think that it goes against every bit of the Clinton DNA. Well, I think she must run. They know nothing different.
She'll run if she can.
Sure. Well, you know, she will run. Yes.
She's got health considerations.
Yeah. But look at her enemies list. She's whittling down her enemies list. She's getting her friends list together. Come on.
Well, and how about this, Joe? For Hillary, though, as the Gates book says, so everything, as long as, one more try, Hillary Clinton would love it if she could announce her candidacy the week before the Iowa caucuses.
Sure.
And have her be, will she or won't she, up until the end. The problem with that is that you are a stationary target the entire time. And as George W. Bush found out, George W. Bush had a good buzz arc in the sense that it was like, they're talking about it, it was quiet, murmuring, governor of Texas, hey, he's a Bush, hey, wait a minute. And then all of a sudden, boom, barnstorm for reform, boom,
that's right.
it's happening. And he ran and he was off. For Hillary Clinton, so he didn't have to spend a lot of time the first time sitting up there as the stationary target like Romney did. Now for Hillary Clinton, the longer she doesn't, the Gates book is out that says very unflattering, a grody thing about her, about the surge in Iraq. You have a Time magazine article out today that basically says, you know, she's a super hawk, and she only isn't hawkish when she's being insincere. That's something the base doesn't like. You've got NSA, what does she say about NSA issues? You've got the Benghazi stuff that keeps splurping and burbling out new unflattering things about the State Department. At some point, if she's going to run, she better run.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And I want to go back to something that you said in that, which is she was the stationary target. And it's funny because now when we look at the Republicans and the Democrats, with Christie sort of being the flavor right now amongst the Republican Party, his primary would be tough.
The flavor is Philly cheese.
Oh, yes. And it's still, I love Philly cheesesteaks. But he's got a primary issue. Now, you just mentioned a list of things. You just mentioned a list of things with Hillary that you would consider to be primary issues, the hawkishness, NSA stuff. But she wouldn't have those issues really in a primary. She would come out.
Oh, I disagree.
Let's be very clear, though. When she left the State Department, her approval ratings were excellent. Despite Benghazi, she had an overall positive approval rating of the work she did as Secretary of State. We saw a lot of foreign achievements underneath her policy, underneath her realm.
Last word, quickly, Brad. Just hit it fast.
Her record is going to be one of the a stockpile of ammunition for Democrats to knock the Jesus out of her.
Like snipers in Kosovo. Okay, guys, we thank you very much for making time for us. Brad Blakeman, as always. Joe Lestingy, who reminds me of a young Joe Manchin.
I appreciate that.
That's a true fact. I knew a young Joe Manchin, or a younger anyway. But guys, we thank you for making time for us.